Quick question. You see this thing behind me? We've got to build something there. And not just anything. We're going to let this machine behind us decide for us. And welcome to the Random Block Challenge, inspired by Wizard Crafters. Oh, he's a good friend of the Blockheads. He's a moderator on my live stream, and he's out there inspiring. Yeah, it looked really fun when he done it on his channel, so I was like, yeah, I gotta get on this. The only difference is I've got an additional tweak to my setup. I was far too lazy to put buttons on my dropper, so I just made a little machine that dispenses them all for me. So they just come to me. I'm too lazy. But we've got 8 random items that will be deposited into our inventory, and in these droppers, these are all random, so any of these can pop out. Once we activate the machine, that will give me 8 blocks. But here are some of my choices. Whatever it gives me. It's not my choices, it's the machine's choices. You got to respect the machine. And then for the twist on mine, I have an additional perk box. So I get 1 perk out of here randomly, and depending on what it is, it could drastically change how my build comes out. So I've got this, picked an additional item of my choosing from creative inventory. Very nice perk. It's a beneficial perk. We've got can use bone meal. That would be really useful. And then some worthless music, which, I gotta throw in some dumbs in there. I mean, that's definitely not gonna help me out. And this one would drastically change. Hire a friends. I would make it a complete collaboration, put this into a server, and someone's gotta help me. Get water, that'd be nice to have. Able to rose bush. I get a wolf, pets. I mean, he's not gonna help me build. And I gotta wear a dumb hat for this one. What is this? I mean, I really should have scripted these up. And then last but not least, a very negative one, I would have to have my building space. I really don't want to do that. And I thought I'd mention the sizing on this is a chunk. So if I have to half that, man, it's going to be really hard to build in it. But yeah, we might end up throwing this on a server. Who knows? You might be hiring a friend. I just hope someone would be up to doing this if I do get that, but let it commence. All the items should be going into the chest now. And I think they're all in there. We should be good. All right. So I get a wolf friend. Won't be a collaboration, unfortunately. And these are the blocks I've got to work with. I feel it's best demonstrated all laid out. So we even got our friends here. Hex. Yeah, Hex is with me. It ended up being a collaboration. Kind of cool. I'll probably include him in my build somehow. But I keep looking at these blocks, and I'm thinking we're going to do more of like a netherscape. So we've got these, and we've got the campfires. We could definitely utilize those to make like kind of a hellscape, I guess. Well, at least with the Crimson Nylium, we've got some resemblance of a backdrop. I think it works. It's kind of cool. And I think something else that would really add to this is the campfire. So if we're to just kind of go in here, break some blocks, and then put in some fireplaces, it's going to look smoking. And I really like that. And the great thing is we can reuse the campfire because you can't really see the logs as a part of it. That's actually pretty cool. I like it. It's really steamy here. It just occurred to me, I got an extra block. I got some netherrack. Hey, I don't think we could really control Minecrafty things, and turning off the random tick speed it'd be boring. Let's just face it. It'd be really boring. So we'll keep the netherrack. It's whatever. It's part of the Nylium anyways, I want to say. But I want to take out a couple of these blocks, and I think what I'm going to do, actually, if we done this, we could use the TNT as like maybe a nether river, sort of. I guess. I mean, would it look right? Well, not right there. It definitely looks kind of cool from the top, but you'd have to cover up the sides. That's the only problem with it. So I think what this is going to end up being is a variation block. From a build standpoint, in some weird way, this kind of works. I mean, the textures mesh. We ended up coming out pretty good on the random block challenge, but this was the easy part, and I feel like the hard part is to come with all these other ones we've got. I don't know what I'm going to do with most of these. Actually, the smoker could be used as a nice foundation block, and the cool thing about it is it has like the different textures surrounding it, so you can use it for multiple things. So in a way, we're kind of cheating the random block stuff. And we got a nice texture underneath. That would make a really nice like ceiling or something. And then we've got this block, which I think would be cool to represent a warped tree and then put it in there. But I don't know what to use as the stem. I guess I could allow myself to use the campfire, but then put into its off state, since we're using the netherrack too in our build. Well, it automatically becomes like that. But if we were to get a shovel, we could always take this out. But then how could you use that as a stem? That's my question. So if it were to kind of, yeah, maybe. Let me do some building. Let's see if we can get it anywhere. Okay, so out of the blocks that I had to use, I think the purple is going to be the best stem. And I'm really hoping when you look at this build, you see a tree. Like, I'm just hoping that's what comes out. It looks like a very sci-fi tree, but it's definitely there. And now let's do a little bit of foundation work. Let's try using some of the smokers. So we're going to be seeing the presentation from this angle always. So we'll definitely want to kind of rotate our smokers kind of like this. And then we can go on over. So we'll do like 5 blocks or something like that. Well, maybe even a little bit closer like this. There we go. So scratch the idea of the residence being out here. I think it'd work better as a facade. Since we're limited with space, and you know, I gotta do like somewhat of a simple roof on this just because the texture's provided, you know, so we can just do the roof like this, just like your standard, like using the stairs to go up. However, we don't have a door, so when you're peering inside of it, you definitely want some features to be in there, and I guess that's where the bookshelves will come in. So we can clear it out just a little bit, put in some bookshelves. And that'll give it some texture when looking inside, at least. I mean, it's not really made to be visited, but from the facade, you can see that there's like maybe some books back there. Oh man, it is getting tough. It's getting hard to implement into the build now. So now we have our little stairs going into our spot. I've done a little bit more terraforming just to make the variation a little bit more interesting. And we brought in another tree, which I didn't think there was enough over here. And now I feel like there needs to be something like right in here. I just haven't found it yet. And I think I'm about adding on a little bit more to the facade to make it look more interesting. We've got this well here. Yeah, I've got some thinking to do, but I'm really limited. Like, this is the only blocks I've got. As much as I really don't want to throw in the towel on this, I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm running out of ideas. Like, I think I've got this build up to the point where I can't do any more from my own imagination. I mean, I could obviously extend some of the house, but I'm feeling this is my sweet spot. I think I'm going to stop it right there. Hey, you know, we didn't do too bad with the challenge, and I encourage you to try it yourself. It's a really nice eye-opener. Okay, Hex, you want to roll out the episode?
Well, guys and gals, that's all we have for this episode today. I hope you enjoyed it.
That couldn't have been more perfect.
Beautiful. Cobblestone.